I sold over $300,000 worth of pre-owned clothing on eBay alone last year. And something that I've learned after dealing with listing a ton of items on these sites is that if you want to make a good amount of money in the shortest amount of time possible, then you need to focus on quick flips. And the best way to do this is simply by listing items that have a proven track record of selling quickly. One of the easiest ways to tell if this is true and if an item has a high demand is to check the sell-through rate of the item, which is essentially just checking the ratio between how many items have sold and how many items are still available. If you want to learn exactly how searching a sell-through rate and some of those details, I did make this video. What I consider a high sell-through rate in just a general search is 50% or higher within 90 days. In the mentorship group that I co-run, we talk a lot about sourcing constitutions, which is essentially a set of rules for yourself while you are out sourcing. I highly recommend to every member in that group, and I highly recommend to everybody watching this video today, everybody here on YouTube, that a part of your sourcing constitution should be a minimum sell-through rate. And in most cases, I suggest a 50% sell-through rate or higher to ensure that there is enough demand on the item to get that item to move. Anything below that, and I think that you are risking just putting items in your store that are going to sit and sit, and that's your money sitting there. If you want to stay in the know about items that are in demand, whether they are brands, style, keywords, all of the things reselling, I have a free resource available that I've mentioned before but haven't mentioned in a while and wanted to bring it to your attention because I know a lot of you are seeking for that free information. Myself and the other co-founders of Reseller's Edge created this completely free resource for you called the Reseller Daily. Simply go to the link in my description and sign up by using your email and clicking subscribe. This is a completely free resource where we send you emails, a newsletter of some reseller tips. Sometimes they are keywords, sometimes they are brands, sometimes they are just business strategies. Link for that is down below if you're interested. There are many other ways to tell if an item has high demand or not, but I think that finding sell-through rate is the easiest one. And it's the place that I would start as a reseller. Finding and listing high sell-through rate items has always been a big portion of my business and still is today. And so because of that, I focus every single week on researching high sell-through rate brands, high sell-through rate categories, high sell-through rate items. And in today's video, I'm going to share 8 bolos that you want to look for if you want to make quick flips. We've got a variety of them here, so let's get started. Number 1 is a brand new brand to me. This was actually a brand that I was just introduced to during a wholesale call where I was buying items from a wholesaler, and she showed me this brand and I checked the sell-through rate on it and I was blown away. Now what she offered me was a jacket, but I went back later and checked the sell-through rate for the brand as a whole and they have an amazing sell-through rate. The brand is Kettle, and if you're just listening and you're not watching, that's spelled Ketl. And it is called Kettle Mountain. It's like a mountain apparel brand. 75 available for just the brand alone. 256 sold. That is a pretty amazing sell-through rate. They make all kinds of things like pants, shorts, but like I said, the one that I came across and the one that seems to sell the best are their jackets. Here is an example of what that brand label might look like and also their logo. If I found anything in this brand, I would be picking it up. Next up is a brand that also has a high sell-through rate just as a whole. And by the way, whenever I search any one thing, whether that's a brand or a category or a certain factor or an aesthetic, and that general search has a 50% sell-through rate within 90 days or higher, that usually tells me that there are little things within this brand that I can drill down into and find those closer to 100% sell-through rate things. But anytime you see a 50% sell-through rate or higher, when you're just searching something very broadly, is a very good indicator that it's something you want to look into. So Packed as a brand has 5,800 available, 3,700 sold. And we know if it's close to about a 50% sell-through rate, then there's stuff within the brand that we can drill into to find even higher sell-through rate things. Packed is known for their organic materials. A lot of times you'll hear somebody say Packed organic, not just Packed. They make all kinds of different things, and a lot of people like them for their organic cotton pieces, dresses, tops, pants, pajamas, plain t-shirts, all of the things. I would say one of the things that they are most well known for are their dresses. Here is one of their newer brand labels. Next up, this one also has a decent sell-through rate. It's not quite 50%, but in my opinion, it's close enough. And so many of them are selling in 90 days that I think it's worth looking into. And so don't beat yourself up if the math isn't perfect, if you're seeing a substantial amount of pieces selling. But what you don't want to do is significantly steer away from 50%. So in this case, I've just searched vintage canvas Carhartt jacket. We are not filtered to men's, women's, or kids, just in general. There are 16,000 available and 7,500 sold. So just under a 50% sell-through rate, but close enough. Now I want to bring this one up because if you did find it, you would definitely want to drill down to the specific style you had, the specific size, the specific color, and you're probably going to find that a lot of them have over a 100% sell-through rate within 90 days. And just in general, wanted to tip you off to this category just in case you come across it. And in my opinion, I also like looking for dupes, not to pull one over on anybody. I'm not going to list that as a Carhartt if it's not, but anything that sells well in a major brand can also sell well in brands that look like it, but you're probably not going to get as much money for them, but they still have a demand. People still want to wear stuff that looks like this. All right, here is an example of what that Carhartt jacket would look like. Sometimes it has a patch, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes the label looks different depending on its age, and sometimes the label is so faded you can barely tell what it is. Something else I've noticed about this is that condition doesn't matter as much as you would think it would. In fact, I find that some people actually like the distressing of these canvas vintage jackets. Absolutely something that you want to be on the hunt for. I've actually sold one for close to $400. Next up, sometimes it's not the brand as a whole, but specific items within a brand. That's why I was talking about drilling down before to find styles, sizes, and factors that perform well within a brand that may not have a 100% sell-through rate as a whole. This would be a great example of that. Rag & Bone as a whole has a pretty terrible sell-through rate. They retail for a lot, but the demand for the brand as a whole is not good. However, I do know about this one particular style that does have a high sell-through rate, and it is called Miramar jeans by Rag & Bone. They're basically pull-on jeans. They have almost a stretchy sweatpant kind of material, but they look like jeans. 300 available, 212 sold, which if you know anything about Rag & Bone, sell-through rates is really good for this brand. They come in multiple different styles, and you could see anywhere from about $30 to over $100. Some sizes, colors are more rare. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but drilling down to exactly what you have, making sure you're getting clean data, meaning that you're seeing stuff that looks similar to yours and has the same factors as yours, is really important in order to figure out sell-through rate. And I think that's a big reason that a lot of sellers think that they can't find high sell-through rate items in their area. It's because they're just searching the brand. They're not drilling down to the specific items that they have, doing their research and finding those pockets within those bad brands. Next up is another one within a brand. It is the brand Toad & Co. and it's Toad & Co. cardigans. I've sold many of these and I get super excited every single time I come across them. There are 121 available, 91 sold. This is actually our listing right here that just sold. So you can see they can go anywhere from about $30 to about $60 pre-owned if they are in decent condition, with a median price being about $35 to $40. And here is that brand label, Toad & Co. Whenever you're trying to scale up, sometimes it's not always possible to have not only a high sell-through rate, but also a high ASP. And so I like to not only find the higher ASP things, but I also like to find the bread and butter stuff that helps pad my sales that I can find often that have higher sell-through rates. Again, following that same metric of about 50% or higher for a general search, knowing that if I come across it, I'm going to drill down further into the size, the particular style or color to see if it has a closer to a sell-through rate that I'm looking for my sourcing constitution. 1,700 available for just a general search for J. Crew men's corduroy pants. 791 sold. Now again, not quite a 50% sell-through rate, but close enough. Ooh, this is interesting. I've actually never seen this one before. $95? So most of them are not going to sell for $95. Most of them are way more bread and butter. I can generally get about $25 for them if marketed correctly. And again, size, color, all that stuff is going to play a big role into it. But in general, if you're seeing a 50% sell-through on a bread and butter general searched item without drilling down yet, good indicator that there are certain sizes and styles that can perform well. And every time I come across J. Crew men's corduroy pants, I'm looking them up. Next up, another popular style of pants are barrel jeans. This 50% sell-through rate not only goes with including the brand, but also removing the brand out of your search. If you can search something just as a category and it performs well, excellent, excellent style that can be applied in most things. So in this case, this is the style barrel leg jeans. There are 5,500 available, 3,000 sold. And we have not drilled down to size or brand. Barrel leg is something that has become trendy over the last year, and its popularity has only risen, not decreased. So it is a fad and a phase that is going to stay around for a while. These leg shapes do look kind of like a barrel. They kind of go out and then back inward, tapering in. Very interesting style of pants. If you see them, you're going to know them because they're very uniquely shaped. And depending on the brand you have, you can get anywhere from $20 all the way up to over $100. The ones that I see a lot of people seeking after are the Free People ones. And lastly, sometimes specific sizes can perform super well in a brand, which is why it's important to include a lot of factors in your search in order to make sure that you're getting clean data. This is one that I've known about for a while. It's one I've mentioned on my channel for a while, but it continues to be a solid quick flip. And they are Eileen Fisher size 2X tops. 814 available, 509 sold. Well over a 50% sell-through rate. And depending on what you have, whether it's more plain, you're going to get bread and butter. Whether it is a little bit more substantial, you're going to be able to get likely closer to $50 and anywhere in between. And just in case you're not familiar with Eileen Fisher, this is what this tag can sometimes look like. All right, you guys, so that's it for the 8 bolos I wanted to share with you today. Let me know what your sourcing constitution is. Do you focus on a 50% or higher? Do you focus like me on closer to 100%? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.